This is KPIX Eyewitness News at 6:30.
Walls of flames fanned by gusting winds threaten homes and wildlife tonight near San Rafael.
Brush fires burned out of control. Firefighters weren't just battling a blaze, they were waging a war.
And good evening, everybody. Here's what's happening on this Sunday night. 2 separate brush fires torch Marin County, turning grasslands into wastelands.
One burned out of control at Big Rock Ridge near Lucas Valley Road, but it's now contained. The other near the Mount Tamalpais Cemetery threatened homes on Ridgewood Drive and is now contained for the second time in as many days. Sandra Stricker has the very latest on that dangerous fire.
Firefighters say a deep layer of brush is making the forest floor burn like charcoal. Terrified and confused, animals are running both in and out of the danger.
They've been escaping. We've been watching the deer and some rabbits, and a squirrel made a run for it. So far we haven't seen any problems. They've been able to come out all right.
This fire started yesterday. Firefighters thought they had it contained, but a high wind this morning kicked it up and the fire jumped the fire line.
Flying embers started spot fires on either side of this ridge. At one point, about 40 homes in the area were threatened. No one was evacuated, but homeowners are being careful.
It's safe enough. They built the fire break. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe a hot ember hitting the roof. I just wanted to get it a little bit wet.
Firefighters say the fire breaks and backfires are containing the blaze, but no one is going home just yet.
With the embers blowing under the wood shingle roofs, with this 30 mile-an-hour wind that's blowing now, could rekindle some of the fire and start some roof fires on these wood shingle roofs, and then we'd have some structure fires. So everybody's just held in place. We're kind of crossing our fingers, and we're hoping that the wind dies down.
The drought is making this a particularly bad fire season. Firefighters say the brush is already as dry as it usually gets by September. In San Rafael, Sandra Stricker, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
It doesn't look like Mother Nature is going to help the firefighters. Doug McConnell says there will be lots of wind for the next few hours. The wind will die down somewhat tonight, but it will be gusty again tomorrow.
Tuolumne County, taken from our helicopter. This fire is burning above the town and it is threatening vacation homes. The forests of Northern California are burning for the 5th straight day. More than 1,000 separate blazes, the worst firestorm to ravage California in a decade. So far, nearly 470 square miles, an area 10 times the size of San Francisco, has been destroyed. A fire in the Stanislaus National Forest threatening Tuolumne City was declared the priority fire in the nation. National Guardsmen and state prison inmates are laboring side by side with more than 14,000 firefighters, nearly every available firefighter in the nation. But it is for now a losing battle against fire, against lightning, heavy winds, and thirsty forest. Jim?
Sylvia, this afternoon, Governor Deukmejian declared a state of emergency in 22 California counties. Fire officials say it's costing as much as $4 million a day to fight these fires. But now the state of emergency makes California eligible for federal aid. Now, here's where the fire danger is most extreme: Tuolumne County, where thousands of people have already been evacuated. Officials say they may have to close off roads into the county if they can't bring these fires under control. The wall of flames is edging closer to Tuolumne City and now are just about a half a mile away from the town, which is home to 3,000 people.
And the struggle to protect little Tuolumne City preoccupies fire troops tonight. When flames crept up to the edges of town Tuesday night, the 3,000 residents began to evacuate. Since then, the flames have swooped close again and again. We have 2 reports, beginning with Chuck Coppola.
This morning, 12-year-old Todd Ingalls and his cousins sifted through the remains of 4 homes on their grandfather's property at Matson Ranch. Fire swept through here overnight, destroyed 3 other buildings and 2 Forest Service lookout towers in the Stanislaus National Forest.
There's nothing they could do about it anyway. There's nothing, no way they could stop the fire because they couldn't get down here on the roads. It was on both sides. It was just pretty bad.
You're lucky you got out.
Well, yeah, because I had to drive my dad's tractor up to the field. You see him up there parked in the field, and I thought I wasn't going to make it out because it was so close.
This afternoon, dry winds picked up. The tower of smoke billowed 15,000 feet into the air. More than 60,000 acres have now burned. The fire continued to threaten the town of Tuolumne. But to the south, across several ridges, 3 more major fires have rushed together and are now climbing up this canyon toward Pine Mountain Lake. It's a very steep area filled with rattlesnakes. John Buckley is one of the firefighters here.
It's difficult terrain, it's real dangerous and flashy fuels, but again, you know, that's where we have to go meet it. Thanks, I gotta go, sir.
His crew spent all afternoon scraping fire lines along the ridge. Fire crews from other areas soon rushed to help them. Tonight, the Forestry Service predicts the ridge north of Pine Mountain Lake may be the toughest of the front lines. Tuolumne County, Chuck Coppola, News Center 4.
Landing at Travis Air Force Base early this morning, a plane load of 220 professional firefighters, rounded up from federal and state forestry agencies throughout the South. Already weary from their all-night flight, the firefighters who volunteered for this mission board buses. They are rushed 150 miles away to where they are desperately needed, Tuolumne County in the Central Sierra. More than 50,000 acres of this county ravaged by the spreading fires. Alan Moyer fights forest fires in Virginia, but none this big.
The terrain that they say we're going to be in will be identical to what we work in or in at home, so it'll be about the same terrain.
They're still 40 miles away from the fire, but the crews can now see and smell the smoke. The buses stop at a staging area where the firefighters will be dispatched into action. Liz Crane of North Carolina can't wait. Liz, why'd you volunteer for this?
Well, for the adventure, to see a different part of the country and make some money.
In a few hours, the new arrivals will join other firefighters from as far away as Maine on the line, battling the fires outside of Tuolumne City. There are now over 12,000 firefighters battling these blazes throughout Northern California. That has left the rest of the country's national parks and forests virtually without any fire protection. This fire, which has already burned over 19,000 acres, is threatening a huge ranch. Backfires are set to contain the fast-moving fire. Robert Calder has been at this since last Sunday.
My body feels like I'm making progress, but it just doesn't look like there's any progress being made.
The ranch will be saved, but at least 3 homes and 9 other buildings in Tuolumne County have been lost to the fires. More than 5,000 have been evacuated from their homes. The crews